Alright guys, today we are in a WK Statesman V6 and I'm going to make the case that this is one of the best daily drivers right now that money can buy in Australia, and you're going to have to hear me out when I make that case. Now of course I'm talking cheap daily drivers. This car is currently for sale for $5,000 with it roadworthy, plenty of rego, that kind of thing. So what am I talking about? Why would you pick this over a lot of other stuff? Well, first of all, I'll tell you the negatives. It is a very high K car. However, I will spin that into a positive in a second. We've got 377,000 Ks. However, if you looked at the condition of this thing, you would think it has done literally half that. Or maybe even less. It is completely original, completely standard car, still the original radio, headlining, all of that kind of stuff is good. This car is really cool because my case that this is one of the best cars for a daily driver is pretty simple. Because it's a Statesman, it is so comfortable to drive this thing. It is lazy, it is reliable, it's not fast. Don't get me wrong, it's not fast. It's lazy, it's reliable, and man, it's comfy. Now, you could get two different types of seats in these. You could get leather or the sort of suede that's in this one. The suede, or I'm not sure exactly what material it is, I apologize for that, but this material seems to have held up a lot better, and it's fantastic in here. It really is. It's clean, it doesn't stink, everything works. I have seen cars with half these Ks that are knackered, and that's why I wanted to do a video on this one, because it shows you how far or how good cars can look when they've got, when they've been looked after despite the kilometers. Now you might be thinking, why am I not doing a normal video like I normally do my overviews? And that is because I've already done one on this and the model after, both V8s. This is a V6, so I wanted to highlight the fact that I think this is a good daily driver. Those are great, don't get me wrong, the V8s are great, but they're also triple the price. This is good because this is a V6, this is the Ecotec, and if you're out of Australia, GM use these engines in millions of cars. Like, they are one of the best engines that they've ever made. We ran them from the VS Commodore all the way up to the VY in Australia, and this is the Statesman, like luxury long wheelbase version of that VY car. So what sets the Statesman apart from a normal VY Commodore? Well, the first thing is that these are long wheelbase, so they have around an extra 150 mil off the top of my head. And I have a rear passenger currently, and she has so much room, it's crazy. Like, there is so much room in the back of these things. And the other thing that sets these apart is they are very similar to a VY Calais in the interior. They're not the same, but they are pretty similar. So we've got a leather wrap steering wheel, we have a unique horn pad to the Statesman, plenty of leather wrap stuff, and we also have the awesome VYVZ cup holders, the ones that come from that Saab whole thing that happened in the early 2000s. Just everything you touch is really, really nice. It has the same low fuel, same sort of cluster as a VY Calais. It's really nice in here, wood grain. We also have a little thing that's unique to the Statesman, is a little screen above the cluster, and you can sort of tune your radio on that and go through the radio settings, your climate control settings, that kind of thing. Now, this would have been a big dollar car back in the day, even though it's a V6, would have been a big dollar car. Would have been great for the family, and these engines are so good. Engines and transmission, absolutely bulletproof. And showing it off, like, it drives $1 million, and I think for the price, I know some people will be scared of the Ks, and look, I don't blame you completely, but with these old cars, they just go forever and ever, particularly if they've been looked after like this one has. I mean, it's unbelievable. There are only very few minor shows of wear, and that is, it always happens on the VYVZ steering wheel. The thing starts to crinkle a little bit. You might hear as well, one of the reasons I'm not doing my normal videos because it's bucketing rain. So we are headed to my shed. But yeah, it's not a performance car at all, but it is good on fuel. It's a good family thing. Unfortunately, we have not long disconnected the battery, so I can't actually see what our average fuel is, because we replaced the battery. Well, I say we, the owner replaced the battery for the roadworthy. Yeah, it feels really luxury. It's got cruise control and everything that you would expect from a comfy luxury car, with the exception of the V8. But the V6s in these cars are fantastic. They are really good. They go forever. They're very reliable, and they're smooth. You are, I admit, you're not getting the full Statesman Caprice experience with the V6, but this car is $5,000 compared to a good V8 one is 3 times that. So yeah, not bad for a daily driver, honestly. Like, it's really, really comfortable. All right, we are back in the shed now, and I wanted to show you guys the outside. We were going to film outside, but it has been pouring rain, so sorry about that. But we are in the shed. Here it is. It is, I do forget the name of this colour, but it's quite a common colour in the VY, V2, VX series. Let's have a look around this car. For the kilometres that it has, it is truly exceptional. So remember, 377,000 kilometres, and there is very minor parking dents here and there. There are stone chips and marks, but you know what that means. As a daily driver, which is what I think this is best at, frankly, who cares? Because you're going to get that stuff anyway. You're going to get marks, you're going to get scratches. Eventually, the paint is probably going to let go. But, you know, for the money for this car, for how nice it is, how well it's been looked after, I think it's fantastic value, really. $5,000. That is what this car is currently for sale for, with a roadworthy and some rego. Again, it is a few Ks for that money. However, this is not like most cars that have 370,000 Ks. The condition of it, especially the interior, which I'll show you later, is phenomenal. And I think that valuing this as a daily driver car, it's fantastic. Honestly, like, it's so comfy. It's so big. The boot is absolutely enormous, which I'll just open for you in 1 second. And here we go. Look at this. The boot is absolutely enormous, isn't it? It's enormous. It's really, really big. So you don't have to worry about whether you've got space. And, you know, if we jump around here and I sit in the back seat here, I mean, look at this. I admittedly, you know, I'm not that tall, I admit, but look at that. I think even if you're quite a bit taller, then it would be, you know, more than enough. Again, I have to make it clear as well, I don't make any money, or I don't make anything from trying to sell this car. I don't make anything. I just wanted to do a video on this car because I think that these are really underrated as a daily drive. It's got everything. It's got cruise control, air conditioning. Really the only thing you'd probably want as a little modern upgrade is one of those FM transmitters, you know, you put in the cigarette lighter. That gives you Bluetooth through the original radio. I probably wouldn't pull the original radio out, only because, I'll keep the door open for you. I probably wouldn't pull the original radio out because I think it looks great, and it's so well connected to the rest of the, you know, the screen up there, and using the buttons and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. And, you know, all of the stuff that you touch is still in great nick. The leather wrapped gear stick, I have to believe that has been replaced at some point, because that is better than most. And both of these still work, which is fantastic. And again, for the Ks on this thing, it's unbelievable. I mean, even look at the steering wheel. It is not rough. It's still completely smooth. There are a few signs of wear. You know, these little things are starting to go. And I actually had a VZ Ute back in the day that had that same problem. But they do, if you pull the horn pad off, they do just pop off, and you can put new ones on there. But overall, I guess the other thing we'll have a look at is the engine bay. Now, I have done videos on these cars before, which is why I'm doing a bit of a different style, not a normal overview, because I've done one that looks exactly like this, Statesman, in this color in an LS1. So I didn't think there'd be much value doing a typical video. But In terms of a daily driver, this engine is fantastic. You know, it doesn't sound fantastic. It isn't the complete Statesman Caprice experience. I will admit that. But look at the condition of this Ecotech that's done nearly 400,000 kilometers. Honestly, it's unbelievable. Like, the kilometers on this car are genuinely hard to believe. But they are true. You know, it's been serviced properly. It's really been looked after. I do know the bloke that sold this car, and he looks after his gear. So I don't know. I think there is tremendous value in a car like this. You don't worry about putting Ks on it. It's cheap to service and maintain. If things go wrong with it, you can fix them cheaply and easily. And in terms of its value, I mean, it's not really going to go much lower than it already is. And I think it's a really cheap and accessible way to get into a really good Statesman experience. It's extremely comfortable. You know, there's no driveline vibration or anything like that. Because this car's been so well looked after from day dot. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is it too much? Is it too little? Again, it's not my traditional video. Normally I do an overview kind of style on this, but I've already done a V8 version of this exact car. So I didn't think, you know, people probably won't be that interested in the difference. However, as a daily drive, this is fantastic. For a third of the cost of a V8 one, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, I've already got a daily, so I'm not looking for one, but if you're looking for one, it doesn't get much better than this. You could cut the Ks in half and you'd never know. Anyway, if you guys would like your car on the channel, then please feel free to subscribe, get in touch. I really appreciate everyone that's following along and liking and subscribing. And I also want to announce that I am so excited to be working with Holdcom. So they have, last week we started working together and they've actually given me a code. So if you guys are buying anything from Holdcom specifically for this red car over here, mostly VB to VL Commodore they specialize in. But if you guys use my code, you get 5% off all Holdcom things forever, any product, anytime. So that's really, really cool. And it does help me keep the lights on in the shed. So I'd really appreciate if you guys are buying anything from there, then give us a shout. But otherwise, if you guys like your car on the channel, then please feel free to get in touch. But if not, thanks anyway for watching. I really appreciate it and hope you enjoyed just a little bit of a different video, a little bit more casual. Yeah, just 10-15 minutes of me just bagging on about how good the old Ecotech V6 is.